What's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some great information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with more Microsoft and Nintendo buddying up together. Well, it definitely seems that way because Microsoft is interested in expanding the Xbox Live cross-platform gaming onto the Nintendo Switch. So Nintendo and Microsoft's relationship has been getting better and better, and to be honest, it was actually even pretty good back in like the Wii and DS days because there were multiple games that came out on Nintendo platforms from Microsoft. One of the more popular ones was a game called Viva Pinata and even Blue Dragon on the Nintendo DS. And we were this close, I mean very close, to getting Halo on the Nintendo DS as well. And it seems like Microsoft is interested in bringing more of their content to a Nintendo platform, this time with the Nintendo Switch. So at GDC next month, Microsoft will be hosting a panel to discuss its goal of having Xbox Live cross-platform play on additional titles outside of Minecraft. As Windows Central notes, quote, developers will be able to bake cross-platform Xbox Live achievements, social systems, and multiplayer into games built for mobile devices and Nintendo Switch as part of its division-wide effort to grow the Xbox Live's user base. Now here's a little bit of a description of the panel. Xbox Live is one of the largest, most engaged gaming communities on the planet with decades of experience providing managed game services to developers that save you time and unlock all the social and engagement features that players love. Now Xbox Live is about to get much bigger. Xbox Live is expanding from 400 million gaming devices and a reach to over 68 active players to over 2 billion devices with the release of our new cross-platform SDK. Get a first look at the SDK to enable game developers to connect players between iOS, Android, and Nintendo Switch in addition to Xbox and any game in the Microsoft Store on Windows PCs. So there's actually a lot more breakdowns and intended audience and other stuff that they do talk about, but I did want to discuss this with Microsoft and Nintendo kind of getting closer, or at least Microsoft wanting to get closer to Nintendo. We also saw some other stuff. It wasn't just this right here, guys, or what they've done in the past. We also saw that there was a Minecraft Nintendo 2DS XL, new Nintendo 2DS XL. That name always gets me. But anyway, there was a Minecraft new Nintendo 2DS XL, and that takes collaboration between Microsoft and Nintendo. And I think after Sony kind of just pulled away with the PlayStation 4, they're definitely looking not at teaming up completely, but saying, hey, maybe it won't be too bad if we borrow here and there. Maybe we get a game here or there. You can use our platform or Minecraft to promote the systems and stuff like that. And maybe Microsoft wants to get, hey, there's a big active base on Switch. We want to make sure that we engage the people on Switch and maybe even provide a game or two. Now, I think that's where it's going to stop. We're not going to see Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Xbox Live or anything like that, but I definitely think that they're going to work together more, especially after Sony just did so well this generation. Why not? And Microsoft, I think at this point, they look at the amount of money and revenue that they're making, and they know the key for them necessarily isn't selling the most hardware with everything that they do with dedicated systems. They know that they need subscriptions. That's what's going to make them more money going forward in the future, and subscriptions is the key for Microsoft. So of course they're going to want to be on any huge platform that isn't a direct hindrance to what they want to do. So it makes sense that Microsoft is trying to push for this. So what do you guys think about Microsoft trying to get Xbox Live and more cross-platform play on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, we've got a bunch of new content for Giga Wrecker Alt for the Nintendo Switch and consoles. This game was formerly on PC, but what makes this game interesting is because it's made by the Pokemon developer Game Freak. So let's go ahead and check out some of the new content that you guys are going to be experiencing when Giga Wrecker launches. So 20 brand new puzzle stages added to the game's campaign mode, new non-playable secondary character that assists players with more difficult puzzles/challenges if they become stuck for a period of time, a new hardcore Iron Man mode that increases the damage to 5 times greater impact than normal mode, an overhaul to the original localization to enhance the user experience, Italian and traditional Chinese languages added for a total of 11 in-game languages, Japanese, English, French, German, Spanish, Italian, Brazilian, Portuguese, Russian, Korean, simplified Chinese, and traditional Chinese as well. And this comes straight from Rising Star Games PR. So it's definitely good to see that they didn't just say, okay, this is just a straight port, we're only going to get this. They're actually adding in content. And this game does look pretty cool. If you're into the whole 2D action puzzle type of games, then this does seem like a game that's going to be really fun. And I've read some reviews on Steam because the game's already been out on PC for a while, and it seems like it's a very unique concept and it's a good game overall. And with these new additions, it seems like it's even going to get better on the Nintendo Switch and other consoles as well. And it's from Game Freak, so you know that they build solid mechanics and gameplay into their titles, especially when they kind of go off the track and do something outside of Pokemon. So they had the Dumbo game before, and now they have this one here. Seems like it's going to be a pretty solid title. So what do you guys think about Giga Wrecker Alt adding in some new content for the consoles? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, now moving on to the next topic here, we've got the indie darling of 2019, Wargroove. There's information on this game because there's going to be post-launch content which features free DLC and more. In a recent AMA on Reddit, Chucklefish talked about this, guys, and Wargroove is taking over the eShop. It's taking over people's Switches, Xbox Ones, PC via Steam. A lot of people are really liking this game and saying this is the Advance Wars that we want, but not necessarily Advance Wars, but it's kind of like Fire Emblem, and it's really good, and it's only 20 bucks. So let's go ahead and get into what they had to say here on post-launch support. So Chucklefish Game says, lots of post-launch support. Quality of life fixes coming soon. We've heard you all there. Free content updates are planned too. Look for quicker skipping of battle cutscenes, an option for faster map movement locked on by default, online play with bots, some tweaks to Fog of War, and some other bits and bops. There will be DLC. Can't tell you quite what we're planning just yet, but know that it is coming, and a lot of it is going to be free. So I've dabbled into Wargroove just a bit on the Nintendo Switch, and I have to say, this is a fantastic game for what they're going for. Independent developer. It feels very snappy. It feels responsive. It feels good to get into this type of game, and I'm liking it a lot more than what I thought I would have liked it. Seriously, they're doing a lot of great stuff with the game, and if you're into Fire Emblem, if you're into Advance Wars, if you like Final Fantasy Tactics, then Wargroove is definitely a game that's going to scratch that itch for you, and it's a phenomenal game. For $20, the price isn't bad at all. It's gotten amazing reviews, and it's funny because I thought I would like Dragon Marked for Death a lot more than Wargroove, but I'm actually liking Wargroove a lot more than Dragon Marked for Death because of the game design and because of what they've done. And it's very important for these type of smaller titles to have that game design because they don't have the graphics and the sound and other things that the bigger games have. So you really have to have great mechanics and great gameplay to stand out, and that's exactly what Wargroove is doing, and I'm happy that they're having success on the eShop, being one of the top selling titles already. So what do you guys think about Wargroove getting post-launch content? If you want to see the full interview or all the questions that they answered, make sure you check out the link in the description below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, the PlayStation 4 has topped a staggering 94.2 million shipments overall lifetime to date, and 8.1 million consoles were sold in the 3 months ended on December 31st, 2018. So Sony had once again another great year overall. For the year, they were the top selling console, just barely over the Nintendo Switch. PlayStation Plus subscribers are doing well. They actually generated more revenue in 2018 than like Microsoft and Nintendo. It was an amazing year for Sony and kind of what they did. Now, when it comes to personal, my games that I like to play, not necessarily for me. I did try out a lot of their games. I bought them. Haven't picked up Spider-Man yet, but that did really well. 9 million copies there. But Sony just is tried and true and steady with their base. They're making a ton of money off of PSN and digital sales. What I think where they're making the most money is definitely those third-party royalties. A lot of the third-party games, the big ones that come out and sell the big amounts, those ones are just selling way more on the PlayStation platform than they are Steam or on Xbox, and many of them aren't on the Nintendo Switch. So Sony's just getting all of that third-party revenue there and getting all of that PSN money. I mean, it's just incredible. And that was just PSN. Let me just make sure I say that. That was just PSN that generated more revenue than all of Nintendo and everything. So it's cool to see that every company, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Nintendo, whether it's Sony, all of them are doing very well. Whether they generate $10 billion or this company does $3 billion, all of them did well. Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. So that's good to see, because last generation, we weren't necessarily seeing that with the 7th gen. The 7th gen had a lot of issues, whether it was Red Ring of Death or whether it was just Sony and the cost of the cell chip. I mean, there was just all sorts of stuff. Nintendo, while they were making money, people were kind of upset with some of their control methods and how the Wii operated. There was just all sorts of issues with the 7th generation. I don't think the 8th generation is that much better when it comes to things, but I think they stabilized all of the nagging issues and got that stuff down, and that's why you're seeing such a smoother ride for these generations of consoles. Nintendo obviously had a little bit of a rough patch, and that's an understatement when it comes to the Wii U, but they rebounded nicely to kind of match up and sell alongside the PlayStation 4 and beating out the Xbox One. So overall, Sony did really well. If you want to check out all the numbers, make sure you check out the link in the description below. A lot of big stuff going on there. It would take me a while to go through everything, but shout outs to Sony for selling over 94 million consoles, the shipments so far. So it's probably looking like they're going to reach at least, I would think, 120 million when it's all said and done, but we'll have to wait and see on that, see how the PlayStation 5 affects everything. So what do you guys think about Sony selling 94.2 million in shipments with consoles? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic here to add more fuel to the fire when it comes to a Nintendo Switch revision. Nintendo has officially stated that they, quote, nothing to announce on a Switch revision. So there's been all sorts of rumors that have been going out, and Ars Technica reached out to Nintendo and got a Nintendo rep. Obviously, they weren't talking to Reggie or Furukawa or Shinya Takahashi or anything like that, just the rep, and they said this, quote, we have nothing to announce on this topic. I repeat, quote, we have nothing to announce on this topic. So that could mean a couple different things, I guess, depending on how you see things. One, that could mean, yo, there's something that they're working on, they just have nothing to announce right now at this point, or you know what, there really is nothing there. But I would think that knowing Nintendo, knowing what they've done with portable type of systems, and this being a completely different style, a hybrid, and Nintendo just being a forward-thinking company when it comes to it, I would not doubt at all that they're working on some type of Switch Mini, new Nintendo Switch, something like that is in the works when it comes to it, because every company is always thinking about their next revision or what they're going to do, even if it doesn't add power to the system, even if it doesn't do anything different than what we've seen before outside of some cosmetic changes. We've seen it with all of Nintendo's systems pretty much since the Wii, right? Since the Wii U didn't really have it at all, but that's because the system was a failure. But the Wii had revisions to where it took away some of the stuff. We had the Wii Mini. I mean, with the Nintendo portable systems, we've been getting revisions since the Game Boy. There hasn't been an iteration of the Game Boy or a portable system that hasn't gotten some type of revision from Nintendo. So it only makes sense that there is something in the works, and that's kind of how I'm taking this statement right here. We have nothing to announce at this point. Maybe there's going to be something later. Probably there's going to be something later, but nothing to announce right now. So what do you guys think about this? What do you think about what Nintendo has to say? And what would you guys like to see personally? For me, I think a Switch miniature or a smaller Switch makes sense because of the new type of games that are coming out this year that were mainly 3DS titles with Animal Crossing and Pokemon. To get a cheaper system out there and kind of bundle it with one of those type of big games that sell to kids and everything is, I think, a good idea, but I'll have a whole separate video talking about that more. So what do you guys think about all the different topics I've discussed here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the internet and just to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Peace.